AI, artificial intelligence, a thing that's come about that irritates me quite a lot. But what about the next step of this, which could be artificial intelligence for people? For those that don't have their own intelligence, it's probably not going to be too long before those that don't have their own intelligence can have some essentially plugged in, which sounds a bit weird, but it would be basically homogenizing the human race. Having a plug-in brain could deal with many of the problems that currently drugs are dealing with now, chemicals. If we could naturally rebalance the chemicals going on in our little brains, then we could be fitter, we could be mentally a lot more stable, and therefore fewer problems. Psychotic and murderous genes could easily just be deleted. Well, not exactly deleted, but muted, turned off. In theory, we could do away with crime, because that part of your personality that makes you just at a predisposition to want to commit crime could be replaced by something a lot more wholesome. We'd all like that, wouldn't we? Nobody's proud of being a criminal. At least, I don't think they are. I think there may be a bit of pretend pride going on with criminals and wrongdoers, because it's the only way they can live with themselves. There's another thing, how empathic we are. In order to not just fight for yourself and everybody else, you have to have empathy. And empathy is a kind of intelligence that allows you to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You know that because you're smart enough to be watching this video. Well, not everybody has it, but that's not even down to overall intelligence. It just happens to be a little bit like having a creative spark, having a talent for drawing or being a musician. Often talents roll over into other things as well. But if empathy could be put into the minds of psychopaths, then it would make them think before doing anything too horrible. With the AI mind chip, you could essentially remap one's brain. The normally aspirated brain for many may be only 88 or 90 brake horsepower, IQ. But it could easily be boosted with the aid of the AI map, boosted to the national average of 100 brake horsepower. No, not brake horsepower, an IQ of 100. That's what we're aiming for. But what about those that are a lot smarter? Would they be detuned so they fit on the same roads as everybody else without accelerating too much? Or would they be left alone? Well, that's the tricky part. You imagine if you're a child and you're suffering with anxiety and ADHD tendencies. These often go hand in hand with being actually very smart. Now that could be tuned out, the ADHD side of things. But the more natural way of dealing with these is to give that person things to be occupied with, is to encourage them to be creative, to do things, rather than just smash things up. If ADHD could take away that part that makes them a bit different, it could also take away that part of them that makes them a bit different. And that wouldn't really be a good thing. I mean, it might be for parents with children that are becoming increasingly difficult as they get older, but it would take away the prospects of being a truly interesting individual, because they'd just be like everybody else. So that's one side of it that already I don't particularly like. But homogenized humanity would mean we'd be able to trust people more. If somebody was knocking on the door, you'd answer it, not fearing that they'd be trying to con their way into stealing all of your belongings. If you're walking down the back streets of Blackpool or Manchester or any town or city really, you could do that without fear of being robbed, set about. Ladies could walk the streets at night without fear of anything horrible happening to them. The world could become quite idyllic. Everybody would have the capacity to understand and to learn. So we should all get along with each other quite well. The only thing is, we wouldn't bother, because nobody would be saying anything to any of us that made us think, because we've already kind of thought of that. There'd be no challenging conversation. There'd be no heated debate. It would be just agreeing with each other. That might not sound too bad. No debate, no difference of opinion. That also means, for some of you, no gossip. So no salacious doings to report. No reason to get excited about who said what to who. Yeah, that won't be such a nice thing for many people. Now do you understand, eh? Of course, there are plenty of people that wouldn't understand and would think that this might be a good idea because they don't understand that it isn't. You're probably thinking, and rightfully so, that this all sounds like a possibility, but it'll never happen. It's a stupid idea, isn't it? Yes, it really is. But then, who'd have thought 5 years back that Copacabana Beach will be full of three-headed ladies everywhere? Humans become ill. They have diseases. But what if AI could actually spot the symptoms of these illnesses long before there are any symptoms at all? I reckon that might be one of the things that will be used for. I don't think homogenized humans will be about having an implant or something like that. I reckon it'll be soap. Yeah, soap. Billions of little AI machines in soap. So as you wash yourself, that soap will then transmit a message to your mobile phone. It'll say, yeah, looks like you might have a kidney infection on the way. And on that, rather than going down the route of taking some antibiotics or having prescription drugs of any kind or treatment, it will suggest a diet. Eat this, drink this, don't eat this, don't go there, and avoid watching horse racing. There'll be a bunch of instructions that will guarantee you'll be fine. And AI will continue to monitor, and it'll come up with like, say, a 1% chance of something happening now, and over the next week it goes to a 0. We all know that AI stands for artificial intelligence, and AI will take over the other AI, which is of course arse inspection. There'll be no need, because AI will be one step ahead of one step ahead. In fact, it'll be about 5 steps ahead, so your arse will never need to be inspected ever again. If you plug an OBD reader into your car, it will give you a report. It will tell you codes. It will tell you what's wrong, if anything is wrong with the car. AI will be like that. One day you may wake up and think, oh gosh, I feel a bit rough today, or I feel extra tired. You just get your AI app out, and it will give you a complete report of what's going on with your body there and then, and it'll tell you why you're feeling tired. And that could just be, well, you didn't have enough sleep, or it could be because you've not eaten enough bananas in the past week. The chances of you catching colds, flu, rubella, what have you, will be vastly reduced, because AI will be able to detect when somebody who has something that you don't want is approaching, and you'll get alarms going off, and red flashing letters will just interrupt everything that you're doing at the time. On the app on your phone will just say, stop! You know, somebody could be coming a bit too close to you. Could be coming a bit too closely. Too close, too close, too close. Modern motors have these intrusive braking systems that can spot things that obviously you've been too preoccupied to notice, and will brake for you. That's what it'll be like. As it can spot illness all around you, it will also be able to spot illness in food. It will be able to tell you whether something is going to poison you or not, you'll have the best possible chance of living to 150 years old, probably because of AI. It's said that the first person who will live to 150 years old is already alive now, and this may be why.